Hotep. It's Moncho and the Washi Do, the mighty Akoma House Initiative. Here today, part 2, we're dealing with blended family dynamics, a hot topic. But today what we wanted to talk about is just like, how do you make it work in terms of time? We have, for example, 5 children. We have 5 children in 3 households. And they range in different ages from 20, 13, 13 and a half, 5, and 3. And so our thing today is, how do you do activities as parents and to unify your family and to bring your family together so that brothers and sisters are connected even though they're in different phases and different activities in life?
So we have 2 unity exercises for you that'll really cut right to the chase. So last time we kind of talked about unconditional love and acceptance, and those are really interesting topics or concepts, but on a practical level it can seem a little bit challenging when you're actually dealing with people. So these are 2 things that you can do. They are in the Unified Body section of the Akoma Day book. It's exercise 17 and 18, and the first exercise is really just taking inventory of what are your activities. So just for 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, you can take a look at what is it that we actually do separately for each person in the family, and then how can we unify those things. So for us, it involves, maybe extracurricular activities for the children, so that's sports activities, musical activities, creative activities. So if someone is interested in something, if they are doing something creative or playing on a team, if they share that schedule with the entire family, it gives us the opportunity to go and support them and also unify our schedules. If that wasn't the case, everyone's going to be doing whatever they want to do, and you really won't have the time to come together, or you won't make the time to come together because everyone's going to be busy. We all have the same 24 hours, but that time will fill up pretty quickly and you won't connect. So you won't have the opportunity to grow together and to really encourage those things that we were talking about in acceptance and in unconditional love.
Right. So one of the things that we do, and I know we kind of talk about it in exercise 18 in the Akoma Day book, about how to do that activity schedule and time. We let the focus rotate. 1 weekend out of the month, when the 2 boys, the 2 sons who don't live in the house full time are here, we do family night. And the activity of family night will be chosen by different people. And it's usually like, we got to do something that we can all do. So we do games, like, for example, board games. Because the little girls are too young for the video games, and we want to move away from video games where we all just looking at a TV screen. We want to kind of do things that help us interact. So board games is something that we do, and then outdoor activities. It may be a sports activity, it may be canoeing, horseback riding, a lot of different things that we do, but we allow each different family member to pick. Another thing that we do that really brings us together and brings the in-laws and grandmothers and grandparents and cousins when they're in town, or nephews, whatever, is something that we call family dinner night. And once a month, we go somewhere as a group, the basic 7 of us, which is Nawasha and I and the 5 children, and then my mom, sometimes her mom, sister, brother, people from the extended family, cousins, whatever, will go out as a group to dinner. And now we also try to let the family members pick that. Now with the children, it can end up being anything from Burger King to something whack, because everybody eats, no matter what age, and that's the thing that brings us together with instantaneous conversation. So
the last thing that I wanted to say was for that exercise 18 again. So it's kind of hard to see, but I'll put in a little photo of it, but it's basically just us unifying a schedule of the basic 18 hours or 16 hours during the day that we're awake and having activity. So the idea is, once we take a look at our inventory from the last exercise, we can really say, hey, let's all wake up at this time, let's all have a prayer at this time, let's eat at this time. And the schedule really works well even if you are not living in the same household. So it's really just about the unification of the mind. And one of our sons is actually in college age, so it can even work when he's away, when he's not in the house, to say, hey, this is just the 2 minutes maybe of family thought time where you can say the family mission statement again, or really just be unified in the mind with your siblings, with your parents, and it's just bring some mindfulness and some care, distance love through the family. But I think that it's a good way to have everyone in the mind, because a lot of times we say those expressions, right, like out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't have to be that way, because you're not seeing each other as regularly as you might see very young children in our case, or the children that live with us in our case. We're seeing them all the time, but it doesn't mean that we're not thinking of the other children. So really having that schedule and saying, hey, our evening prayer is at 8 o'clock. So the girls will be saying it, we'll be saying it, you'll be saying it in the separate households, but we'll all be saying it and doing it together is a great way to unify the mind. And you can pick anything to do, within your 24 hours, but it's just something to think about. Whether it's one day of the week, like we do Ka Day on Sundays, or it's actually one time of the day, like 8 p.m., and when you're going to bed, just thinking of every single person in the family. It's just another suggestion to really help you feel unified while you're working on blending a family.
Right. And so we encourage you, get your Akoma Day book, look for exercise 17 and 18, and get busy on that and let us know, give us some feedback, let us know, what you're seeing and what's working for you and what challenges you have. And together we'll blend these families on a smaller scale until we blend them on the largest scale, from Modimo to Badimo back to Modimo. And until we see you again, as always, the Akoma House Initiative signs out telling you to take heart. In our ancient language we say Nia Akoma.
Nia Akoma.
Hotep. Hotep, Hotep. Oh shit.